Nigerians, take a look at this.
And in Nigeria, we're annihilating terrorists who are killing Christians. We've hit them very hard. They've killed thousands and thousands of Christians. What's that all about?
The prediction some years ago that Nigeria would become a failed state has actually come to pass. And let us not always be saying Nigeria is indivisible, it is indissoluble. It is already divided. Can't you see that Nigeria is hemorrhaging? Can't you see that we are bleeding? Can't you see that the president should wake up from his self-imposed cocoon and hibernation?
Choi! Oyiwakaria, what is being used to describe Nigeria as a failed state? You need to watch this video to the end and help me share it. You're welcome back again. This is still BVI Channel 1, where we tell you undiluted and uncompromising truth. While the federal government of Nigeria, under the Muslim ticket, is trying and lobbying so hard to convince Trump that Nigerian Christians are safe. Boom! Another kidnapping of 172 Christians in Kaduna Church. This is Kaduna State Governor visiting the community of the church where over 170 Christians were kidnapped by Islamic terrorists. The same government that denied that the Christians were being kidnapped in his state now have to drive through the jungle of the communities, the road untarred, to visit the very place they denied the incident happened. You can see the governor with his long entourage of SUV to visit the community where the incident of kidnapping of over 470 Christians that were kidnapped. If this is not a failed state, tell me what it is. That an Islamic sect can kidnap over 170 persons without the intervention of the government. If it is not a failed state, tell me what it is. You can see these are the families of the kidnapped victims and the rest of them. Now, that is the beginning of their nightmare. When from the kepu we are hearing, as Nigerian government have already admitted that the Biafran agitators and lobbyists are pushing hard that Nigeria problem can only be solved and the Christians in Nigeria be protected if Nigeria is divided. Now, I want you to listen to this learned gentleman, San Mike Ozakome.
The prediction some years ago that Nigeria would become a failed state has actually come to pass. Some of the indices of a failed state are when non-state actors possess equal or stronger or more potent power than a legitimately constituted government, power of violence, instruments of coercion and violence, as we are saying now. And let us not always be saying Nigeria is indivisible, it is indissoluble. It's not a textbook definition. Indissolubility and indivisibility can only be brought about when you nurture unity, mutual respect, egalitarianism. It is already divided because every geopolitical zone is already going according to its own details. There is no cohesion. There is no leadership. Can't you see that Nigeria is hemorrhaging? Can't you see that we are bleeding? Can't you see that we are on a journey to no destination? Can't you see that the president should wake up from his self-imposed cocoon and hibernation and seize the reins of power and save Nigeria from what remains of ourselves, self-implosion, self-immolation? Can't you see that we are tottering, we are wobbly, we are groggy? Can't you see that we are falling apart? Can't you see that we needed, as yesterday, to do something urgent to save Nigeria from the precipice, from breaking up into smithereens? Can't you see that the house is collapsing, that the edifice is collapsing? Can't everybody see it? Even if you are blind, can't you feel it? Even if you are blind and you can't feel it, are you numb?
There is nothing to add to it and nothing to remove from it. But no, you will carry. Oh, you are carrier. What is being used to describe Nigeria as a failed state that it is? And many will agree, especially the downtrodden Nigerians will agree to a large extent that the only thing that can solve the problem of this country is to divide it. Oh, I agree with that. And I also agree in the process to achieve that. That is, by the way, let us focus on the nitty-gritty of the matter. As it is today, we are clear, like I continue to say loud and very clear in a simple language, that Northern Christians, those who are Christians in the North, those who are being considered minorities of the North, are being massacred. From Benue to Kaduna, Southern Kaduna, to Plateau State, and the rest of them. The first thing they should do is to ask God as a people that their forefathers joined hand, joined the Futajelon soldiers led by Gowon to massacre innocent Christians in the war of attrition, the war of genocide against the Biafran people between 1967 to 1970. That is where the restitution should start from. Because if I say that they were used, according to the words of Ahmadu Bello, that they are going to use the minority of the North as willing tools, and the South, which is predominantly Christian territory, as a conquered territory. You get the point? Good. Now, talking about this experiment, this British colonial contraption that should have never been, that had failed from the beginning. The only irreducible minimum to keep that name still afloat is true federalism. And what does true federalism represent? It represents the Aburi Accord, which Nigerian states refused to implement, which but the point I'm making is that the Aburi Accord that Nigerian government failed to implement is what had put Nigeria where it is today. True federalism return Nigeria to true federalism, where every region will man their states independently. It used to be like that before the first coup. It used to be like that. And I used to tell my people, and some people don't like to hear it, the person that changed that structure was an Igbo man, Agui Ironsi. Yes, he was the one that brought in through the military dictatorship, this structure of centralized government. And the Futajelons hijacked Nigeria and hijacked that structure and continued to use same to perpetuate all manner of evil, including the political class, against the Nigerian people. That is the major problem of this country. So we should just focus on solving that problem once and for all. And those who are lobbying America should tell them the only simple truth and solution to solve the Nigerian problem and protect Christians in Nigeria. Balkanize Nigeria to regional government. Let the up north that are most Muslims continue in their Islamic Sharia, and leave the middle belt, as we call them, the North Central, who are predominantly Christians as well, with a mixture of some small Muslims who are considered the minorities of the North. to have their own nation. The Arewas up north should have theirs. The Oduduwas in the west should have theirs. The Biafrans on their own should have theirs. Even in the east, we now have the south to south. They can have their own, while the Igbos will have their own. Come over in this country, and let us stop deceiving ourselves with this failed experiment we call Federal Republic of Nigeria. And that is the truth, undiluted. Some people may not like it, but I'll have to say it the way it is. We should stop deceiving ourselves and stop going merry-go-round. My name is Asu Peters, the advocate for good governance. I just hope you deal with the message and leave the messenger out of it. Help me share this video if it resonates with you. Share it to the point that the American government will see it like the screwdriver businessman in Onitsha that made Trump strike Nigeria. What a propaganda. I'm signing out, my people. Bye-bye for now.